An apple a day might not keep the doctor away, but I will tell you this, Jim Beam apple, Crown Royal apple, is the perfect way to start a new year. Your Pratte pack always rolls with Miller Lite. This is Sam Botnovich, ladies and gentlemen. He is a wonderful mixologist who works for Jimmy Klein, otherwise known as Jimmy K's. And of course, New Year's Eve, the place to ring out the old and ring in the new is right here. If you will, just give us a little splash of Crown Royal. And then we're going to dive into our Steelers preview with Rick Freeman.
Hey, Rob.
All right, cheers, folks, from everyone here at Jimmy K's, and may this be the best year ever, 2016. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right, this is a great bar, folks, and they've got literally a couple of dozen of beers on tap. IPAs and microbrews. Jimmy Klein has it all here at Jimmy K's. Now, we always remind you, if you're heading out for the New Year's holiday or any night, and if you're going to enjoy a few adult beverages, be responsible. Do not drink and drive. Get a designated driver. If you want to roll big, get yourself a limo, or better yet, call JB Taxi in the Valley and Yellow Cab of Pittsburgh. Now, before we talk to Rick Freeman, aka World B. Free, class of 1975, a tremendous baseball and basketball player, and a man who's passionate about sports, we are going to kind of give you a bit of a timeline when it comes to the Steelers and Browns. Steelers, of course, had a horrible day against Baltimore. We're going to get to that in a moment. Ben, 272 yards, but two crucial picks. Antonio Brown was shut down. He had 61 yards receiving, but D'Angelo Williams shined again, had 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, and he also had 6 catches for 53 yards. Week 10, Ben Roethlisberger, 379 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Browns. They were absolutely tremendous in the air. Martavius Bryant, 178 yards receiving, a touchdown. Antonio Brown, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. And when you look at the Steelers' defense in that game, Cam Hayward, Jarvis Jones, Stephon Tuitt, Arthur Moats, ladies and gentlemen, they literally sacked Johnny Manziel 5 times. Ryan Shazier, Lawrence Timmons, they were all over him. Now, the thing you have to worry about Johnny Manziel, and there's some, reports breaking as we speak, that he may be on video doing some things like drinking and excessive drinking, that he may not be starting on Sunday in Cleveland, but we'll see how that plays out. But if he does, even though they lost to Kansas City, he, scooted out of the pocket 11 times for 108 yards rushing the football. Now, since that Steelers game, in which, by the way, he threw for close to 300 yards, and he had a 71.1% pass completion rating in that game. He's been pretty brilliant at times, I think enough so to where he is, unless he is his own worst enemy, hurts himself off the field, going to get another opportunity to play football again. And of course, Gary Barnidge and Travis Benjamin, a couple of wideouts who have done some extremely good things for Cleveland, will be a big part of this game Sunday in Cleveland. Now, the Browns' defense has really kind of shored things up since they met the Steelers the last time. They're giving up about 204 yards per game passing, and they've only given up 8 touchdowns in their last 5. So it's a different Cleveland Browns team, and it's that rivalry. You just never know what's going to happen. But before we talk more about that, I want to talk to Rick about the Steelers, and he's got a strong opinion on if the Steelers don't make it to the postseason. Rick.
Well, absolutely. I mean, first of all, they need to shore up that secondary. That's been one of their Achilles heels all season.
Right.
And if you don't put any pressure on that quarterback, and the quarterback is standing back there all day long, he's going to pick you apart. And it seems they've been having problems with no matter who the opposing quarterback has been, because they're giving up way too many passing yards.
And as you said to me just moments ago before we rolled tape, even if they don't make it, and if you look back at Ben being out and Le'Veon, who's been lost for the season, no excuses, because they really had the main course on the table, and they let it slip through their hands by losing to Baltimore.
And there's a few other games that they've lost that they should have won too, like the first Baltimore game. They lost to Kansas City when they were bad. You know, they just let these teams who they should be beating, they don't step up to the plate and get the job done.
How would you rate this season? I have said, if they would have made the playoffs, I think Mike Tomlin has done a tremendous job coaching, because the loss had been for multiple weeks and Le'Veon being out. How would you rate this year looking back if they don't make it to the postseason? And again, they've got to beat Cleveland, and the Jets have to lose to Buffalo. That is how it has to go for the Steelers to head into the postseason.
Honestly, I think it's one of Mike Tomlin's best jobs, considering everything that he's had to go through to keep this team together, to put them in this position where they're at. Unfortunately, like I said, they've lost games that they should have won, and if they would have won those games, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about them not making the playoffs, because they'd already be in.
You know, when you think about this football team and where they are right now, you have to really see brighter days ahead because of what Antonio Brown has brought to the table. And I also have to believe, even if Le'Veon Bell comes back, and we all expect him to come back healthy, how do you get rid of D'Angelo Williams? The ex-Carolina Panther may be the best pickup of any team during the offseason. And you hear like Stephon Tuitt's name more, Arthur Moat's name more, Will Allen has been spectacular, William Gay, and of course Shazier and Timmons, and I think Jarvis Jones, who realized if he didn't step it up, he was going to be out of work. Cam Hayward is actually turning into their first real sack threat in years. I see some good things for the Steelers.
Oh, absolutely. Their defense is young, and that's the bright spot to this defense because they are young. And then once they start to get a little bit of experience and start to know what they're supposed to be doing out there, then we knock some people out, brother.
Last thing, when you look at the AFC North, do you still think the Bengals will represent, if the Steelers don't make it, to the point where maybe we might be talking about a Super Bowl champion coming from within the division?
Still got to go through New England. Still got to go through New England.
Ladies and gentlemen, world be free. Rick Freeman from Jimmy K's in New Brighton. Happy New Year.